Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kendall from Aspire Counseling and Wellness Center coming to you on this beautiful Saturday for another Storytime Saturday. You know how I love reading to our kiddos. And so today's theme is going to be about self-esteem. And you ask yourself, like, what is self-esteem? And it's literally, the level of confidence that you have in your own self-worth and your abilities. And sometimes it can be high, sometimes it can be low, things can happen, but there are things that you can do on a consistent basis that's going to help you have a healthy level of self-esteem. And parents, you play a huge role in the healthy development of your child's self-esteem. So today I want to read for you a really good book that was recommended to me, and it's called The Crown on Your Head by Nancy Tillman. It's such a beautiful book, so I hope that you enjoy it. Please sit your kids in front of the computer so they can see me read to them and listen. And for those who have, thank you. And I hope that you enjoy this reading. And there will also be some suggestions that I give you once I complete the book that you and your children can do together that's going to help them to begin, practicing a routine on identifying things about them that they love, that they want to continue to work on, and that's going to build that self-esteem bank that they have. So I'm going to get started. The Crown on Your Head by Nancy Tillman. And it's beautifully illustrated. The Crown on Your Head. On the day that we met and I put you to bed, I noticed a crown on top of your head. It was made up of sparkling, glimmering things like moonlight and fireflies and dragonfly wings. So pretty. As the days came and went, it was faithful and true. And it grew right along with the rest of you. You see the cute little crown on the baby's head? I always knew just what your crown meant. It said that you were magnificent. That means you are grand from your toes to your chin. Take a deep breath and let that sink in. You are magnificent. That's about as high a word can climb. That's the top of a mountain, a steeple chime. That's over the moon in a nursery rhyme. And this is the hey diddle diddle. But the crown is still shiny. And it means, like a star, you were born to shine. Blink 3 times, and there you are. You are a twinkling little star. In other words, from your very first day, you were chosen to glow in a very big way. With your crown made of glittering, high-flying things, you've got wind in your pockets. Your wishes have wings. You can run like you mean it, so let the wind blow. There's just no telling how high you can go. So how do you want to go? Whatever it is you choose to do, no one can do it exactly like you. Ride on the big slide, and if you fall down, remember your glorious, marvelous crown. It won't flicker or fade. It won't dim. It won't leave. All you have to do is believe. It's beautiful. Do you, my child? I hope that you do. The world is a wonderful land waiting for you. And you get to share it with all your friends too. They each have a crown that is faithful and true. They're having fun. No one's is brighter, no one's is duller. It's only a crown of a different color. So that lets you know that everyone's special. No one should be compared. So sometimes, just every now and then whisper, I believe. Again, your crown is your best friend forever by far. It tells the true story of just who you are. That's why every night when I put you to bed, I'm careful to kiss the crown on your head. Oh, it's so cute. And so this is a note from your particular crown. I'm made out of magic most people can't see, which is really quite clever, if you should ask me. But if you're ever worried and really must know, you can tell that I'm there by the warmth of my glow. Press your hand to the top of your head. Feel me? Okay. Put your worries to bed. You are loved. And that is The Crown on Your Head by Nancy Tillman. It's such a beautiful book. And parents, if you're listening, I wonder what did you pick up on in the book as I read it? What were some of the things that stood out for you? What are some questions that you can take away that you can then ask your children? Or what are some of the things that you noticed as far as individuality, loving who you are, knowing that there may be challenging times, but your crown is still the same. It still shines brightly and brilliantly, and everyone's is different. No one's is better. No one's is worse. They're just different. So how do we celebrate those differences and you use that to allow us to love the crown that we were born with? There's so many themes in this book, and I'm so glad that I got a chance to read it for you. So I wanted to provide you some strategies that you can, or some cute little interventions that you can participate in with your children that's going to help them identify their positive traits, work on their self-esteem, and build their resilience. And one of them I think is really good. It's creating this I am list. And it's helping them to identify their positive characteristics. You may have to help with the vocabulary because one of the challenges that I noticed when working with, adolescents or in the school that I'm currently at, primary kids up to like 5th grade, is they don't necessarily have the vocabulary to articulate how they feel about themselves, their thoughts, their feelings, and things of that nature. So you may want to go online and identify different vocabulary words that expound upon positive characteristics and traits. So the I am activity is just like a spider web, right? You could put in the center, you could put I am, have your child put his or her name, and then you just have them web off what are the positive characteristics that they notice about themselves. And for each characteristic that they write, have them to either talk to you about a time that they demonstrated that, or write it down. Journaling is really important. And then you can even let them draw. Sometimes kids aren't as verbal, but they're great artists and they can, demonstrate how they feel through what they draw. Form of play therapy, right? So that's an activity. And you could do it in a different way. Have a heart in the center of a piece of paper with their name. And then you can have them write about things that they love about themselves. And you may notice that if you have children that struggle with self-esteem, you can get them started by identifying things that you love about your kids and then having them to add to the list. and in addition, I would hope that you do these particular activities with your child or your children. If you're working on your personal one, you can write down something that you love about yourself and show your child. So, we know that our children learn through modeling. That is one of the ways of good teaching, is that we model what we want them to do. They learn by seeing. So when we show them what it looks like, it's easier for them to then incorporate that particular activity or behavior into their own routine, which is why your child's first role model is you as a parent. So what they see, they tend to emulate, be that negative or positive. So during this time, the pandemic, physical distancing, while hopefully staying socially connected, it's really important that we are being a lot more cognizant and mindful of our behavior, the words that we're using, how we are interacting with not only our loved ones, but our children as well. Because kids can pick up on vibes. And they then, in turn, do that behavior in other places. So we know, again, that they learn by seeing, so we want to make sure that they're seeing us, behave in constructive and positive ways. And there's nothing wrong with them seeing that you are struggling, because we are human. Everything is not going well, and especially during what we're dealing with right now. So if they see that you struggle, that's an opportunity for an honest conversation that, yes, mommy or daddy are having a struggle right now, but we know that it's temporary, and this is what I'm choosing to do to get through it. I'm choosing to behave with love and compassion instead of, fear or disregard and things of that nature. It's them letting you know that it's okay to be angry or sad, because it can also help me grow to be more happy and content. So another thing that you could do, another activity that you could do with your child is, it's called a self-esteem sentence completion activity. And I found this, it's a website that I use a lot called therapistaid.com. So there are different sentence structures that you can have your child answer. And again, you want to model it first. And an example could be, I was really happy when, and then you have them either explain or write down or draw a time that they were really happy. So what this allows them to do is to stay connected to events in their lives that made them feel positive emotion. So you kind of generalize it to everyday occurrences in your life. So if this happened and this is the way that I felt, I can do that now. Or what is it that I was thinking or had to do? What behavior did I have to implement in order to feel that positive emotion? So how can I then do that now if I'm feeling stressed out, anxious, a little bit depressed, irritated? So it allows them to be able to take the skills that they've learned in one situation and apply it to another. Or another one is like, I'm proud of. And then, that's the sky's the limit. You can have them identify. So this helps them to identify things that make them feel happy, that builds their self-esteem tank, allows them to tap into those positive emotions surrounding themselves and the works that they've been able to accomplish. So this one is something that I love to do. This will be the last one that I give you. I have a huge gratitude jar back in my office in Beijing. But what I do, and I love tape, right? So this is a creative activity that you can engage in with your kids, is you get like a little mason jar or whatever kind of thing that you have around the house. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy something. I like to decorate my stuff, right? It might not be the highest quality, but it gets the job done. And with the gratitude jar, what you do is you identify good things that happen throughout the day, and then you put it into the jar. Or if you want to tweak it a little, we're continuing to build self-esteem, which practicing daily gratitude is one of the ways in which you will hopefully be able to enhance a person's self-esteem. You're identifying good traits, good things that are happening, tapping into that positive energy. So anytime something good happens, which doesn't have to be huge, it could be something small. You write it down, scrap piece of paper, Post-it notes, whatever, and then you put it in your jar. And so I have a huge one in China, so at the end of the year, I just open it up and I have this plethora of good things that I've either accomplished, that has happened. So whenever I'm feeling doubt or I'm feeling down or I'm feeling like a little bit hopeless, I go through this assortment of gratitudes or good things that have occurred in my life. And it's a reminder that even in the bleakest of times, something good is occurring. That's what I have coined the silver lining mindset. What is the lesson that you can learn in the challenge? So, with that, parents, you again are a huge part. You play a great role in the development, healthy development of your child's self-esteem. And that really segues into the topic that I'm going to cover on Monday. Please join me on my Facebook Live. Monday at 6 p.m., I'm going to be having a Q&A, an hour-long Q&A about parents' words matter. How your communication with your child, the way in which you talk to your child, engage with your child, is going to help develop a healthy level of self-esteem, self-appreciation, self-concept in your children. So I hope that you join me. Please like and share this video. If you want to get in touch with me, you can email me at kendall.tyson@aspirecounselingwell.com. You can check out my website, aspirecounselingwell.com. You can check me out on my YouTube page. It's just Aspire Counseling and Wellness Center. I have so many. If you want to, check me out on YouTube. On Instagram, it's at Aspire Counseling Well. And my Facebook is the same, Aspire CWC. I will come to you every 2 weeks that I'm here in the States with a Storytime Saturday. So if you have any suggestions on books that you would like for me to read for your kids or topics that you would like for me to cover, please email me, send them to me on Facebook, any of my social media platforms, and we can make that happen. So on this Storytime Saturday, I hope that you get outside, you get some fresh air, get some of that sun that's going to help enrich the vitamin D and increase your serotonin levels, which is going to help improve your mood. And just as I always say, your transformation begins today. You just have to act. And if you are experiencing some difficult symptoms, stress, anxiety, persistent stress or anxiety, if you are experiencing feelings of withdrawal and things of that nature, and you are having a really hard time getting out of that, I want to recommend that you seek a mental health professional. There are multiple ways in which to find a licensed mental health professional, and if you need consultation in that area, please reach out to me and I can definitely assist you in your efforts. But I'm going to end Storytime Saturday again. In the book, I'll just go over the book again, The Crown on Your Head. I ordered this from Amazon. It didn't take long to get here, but it is a great book, and I hope that you enjoyed it because I certainly enjoyed reading it to you. So have a marvelous Saturday. Bye, everyone.